civil to one another. And in recent State of the Union addresses, Republicans and Democrats sit in separate sections of the House chamber. But tomorrow night, in a show of unity, about 60 members from both sides of the aisle will be sitting together. Joining us now to talk about what could be a new tone emerging in Washington or not is Christina Bellantoni. She is the Associate Politics Editor at Roll Call. Christina, thanks very much for being with us tonight.
Good evening. Thanks for having me.
So I understand some are calling tomorrow night date night, where some lawmakers are inviting lawmakers from the other party to the aisle and sit with them. What do you know about what's going to happen tomorrow night?
Well, you can sort of call it the buddy system. Somebody in the Roll Call newsroom called it more like keeping your frenemies close. This is an area where basically Republicans are choosing Democrats that, you know, they can tolerate for a 45-minute speech. And it's really more of a symbolic gesture to show, you know, we really can get along and get things done. The funny thing is that those bipartisan outreach and good feelings and goodwill tend to end when the speech is over.
Right. And I know Roll Call has published a few articles recently about this new push for civility. Is this just a front, or is this a new sign of a new emerging push for civility that will continue? Is it possible?
Well, anything is possible, of course, but it is also an election cycle coming up with the presidential race on the ballot. So that makes just a huge difference. I mean, this speech for President Obama, it's really all about setting a tone, setting the agenda for the next year and a half, when probably not very much is going to get done. You've got a divided system right now with Republicans controlling the House, the Democrats still in control in the Senate, and President Obama holding that veto pen. So what can they actually accomplish? That's what he's going to really talk about. Now, the gesture of everybody sitting next to each other is really going to make for some interesting optics, because this is the first time the Republicans have had a large majority, which is a huge showing where they can stand up and cheer for a line that is thrown to them, you know, for Republicans to enjoy. And this may play with that a little bit. Roll Call is going to have a really interesting chart in tomorrow's paper looking at sort of these different pairings of who's paired with whom and how it may affect how that seating works.
But Christina, why might civility not pay off for these politicians?
Well, hot rhetoric is a way to raise money, and we've done several stories about this recently, looking at how, you know, even in the wake of what happened in Tucson with the shooting at Gabrielle Gifford's event a few weeks ago, members sort of talked about toning things down, but you did see some people fundraising off of the event. You saw the Express saying that they wanted to have their biggest fundraising event ever to sort of hit back against people that were saying that their rhetoric had anything to blame. And really, this is an area where the louder you can be, the more inflammatory you can be, the more money you can raise. You saw very specific examples of this during President Obama's September 2009 health care address, where Joe Wilson shouted, "You lie." He raised enormous sums of money. So did his Democratic rival in that race, and they're still raising money off of that incident in South Carolina. You've seen Senator Bernie Sanders. He really raised his name recognition with his one-man filibuster a few weeks ago, or before in the lame duck session, but he's actually been raising money off of the tragedy, you know, basically asking supporters to come out and come to his defense with their dollars.
They get attention, they get the money that they're looking for. Christina Bellantoni, thanks very much. We'll look for you in Roll Call tomorrow. Thank you.